Right. So, you know how we're always talking about making big changes, right? Like huge life overhauls.
Hmm.
Well, sometimes I think the most powerful stuff comes from doing small things, but like consistently.
Right.
Yeah. So today we're going to dive into that idea with investing specifically and how small, consistent actions can really add up over time.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And to help us explore this, we're going to be pulling some really interesting insights from a piece called A Gentle Reminder Investing Never Goes Out of Fashion by Ephraim Unigby.
Okay, cool.
So Onigi, he's got this awesome background in audit and financial consulting, really knows his stuff, and he basically lays out these like fundamental truths about how to make your money work for you.
I like it.
Yeah. And so our mission today is to like unpack his ideas in a way that's not just clear, but like actually kind of changes the way you think about your finances, you know?
Yeah. I think what's really cool about Adibi's perspective is that it cuts through like all the noise and confusion around investing.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
People often think it's like this super complicated thing only for like rich people or financial experts.
Right, right.
But his message is actually super accessible.
Yeah.
He says that the key to long-term growth is just taking action with your money.
Hmm.
Specifically through investing, it's really about like putting your money to work so it's not just sitting there doing nothing.
Totally. So, okay, let's jump right into some of these core ideas. One of the first things Inuibia emphasizes is the power of time.
Yeah, time.
He calls it our greatest asset when it comes to investing, which is so true.
It is.
Right. Because the earlier you start investing, the more time your money has to grow. And that's where the magic of compounding really kicks in.
Yeah, that's right. And he gives this amazing example to illustrate this point.
Mhm.
Imagine someone who starts investing 500 pounds every month from age 23 until they're 33.
Okay.
So that's 10 years of consistent investing, totaling 60,000 pounds put in.
Wow, that's quite a bit.
Now, if we look at an average annual return of 9%, which is typical for broad market ETFs, as Anugibi points out,
Uh-huh.
by the time they reach 70, that initial 60,000 pounds could potentially grow to around 2 million pounds.
2 million. That's insane.
It is pretty wild, right?
Just by letting that money work over time.
Yeah, it really shows you how powerful it can be to just start early and be consistent.
Totally. But, like, we do have to be realistic when we're talking about numbers that far in the future, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're connecting this to the reality of the economy over the long term, we have to factor in things like inflation.
Of course.
That 2 million pounds in 2070 simply won't buy as much as 2 million pounds does today.
Makes sense.
On UGB estimates, it might have a purchasing power closer to somewhere between 500,000 and 800,000 pounds in today's terms.
Oh, okay, I see. So still a very significant sum of money.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's still a fantastic illustration of the power of growth over time.
Definitely. And he also provides this slightly more conservative scenario, looking at a 7% annual return, right?
Right, and this is helpful because it gives us a more grounded perspective.
Yeah.
So at 7% annually, that same 60,000 pounds invested between 23 and 33 could grow to about 1.2 million pounds by age 70.
Got it.
And accounting for inflation, that'd be roughly equivalent to about 400,000 pounds in today's money.
Wow. So even with the more cautious estimate, it's still a pretty powerful outcome.
Right, and it really emphasizes that those early years of investing are just so valuable because of the longer time horizon for compounding.
Absolutely. So I guess like the main takeaway here is that if you can start early, do it.
100%.
But okay, let's say someone's listening to this thinking like, well, I'm way past 23, so have I totally missed out?
Well, McBee has a very clear answer for them.
Okay.
He says, and I quote, "Miss the past, start now."
Love it.
It's all about recognizing that the power of compounding rewards patience. So even if you feel like you're starting a little bit later than you'd like, the most important thing is to just begin today.
That's so important.
Because every year that you wait is another year that your money isn't growing and benefiting from the effects of compounding.
Yeah, think of it like planting a tree. Like they say, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, but the second best time is today.
Perfect analogy. I love that.
Right. Okay, now another thing that I think holds people back is the idea that you need like a ton of money to start investing.
Definitely. That's a huge misconception.
Yeah, it can feel intimidating, like it's this exclusive club only for the wealthy.
Yeah.
But Unwigby really addresses this head on.
And he does it in a very reassuring way.
Yeah,
A lot of people ask, what's the bare minimum I need to get started?
yeah.
And Unwigby's answer is really empowering.
Okay.
He says you don't need a massive pile of cash.
Right.
Start with something manageable, like 50 pounds per month.
50 pounds. That's
Yeah.
doable for most people.
Exactly. For many people, that's just a few small adjustments to their spending. Maybe cutting back on a few takeaways or coffees each month.
Totally. It's about overcoming that mental barrier that investing requires this like huge upfront investment, you know?
Totally. And Anya Wigby also talks about the potential to scale up gradually as your financial situation improves.
Right. So it's not just about that initial 50 pounds.
No, it's about starting where you are and then building from there.
Yeah.
So you might start with 50 pounds a month, and then as you become more comfortable and maybe your income increases,
Mm-hmm.
you could gradually bump that up to 500 pounds or even eventually 5,000 pounds.
I like it.
The point is that investing is a journey, and it begins with taking that first step.
Yeah. And you know what really drives home this idea of starting small? And Wigby includes this fantastic quote from The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason.
Oh, yeah, that's a classic.
He says, and I quote, "Makes thy gold multiply."
Such a powerful quote, right?
It is, and it perfectly captures this concept of your money actively working for you and growing continuously.
What I love about that quote, and Onwiggi's emphasis on starting small, is that it encourages this shift in mindset.
Yeah, explain that.
Instead of just saving money, which of course is important,
Yeah.
it encourages you to start actively growing your wealth,
Mm.
even if it's in small increments, but consistently over time.
Right, it's about putting your money to work so it's not just sitting there.
Exactly. Your money doing the heavy lifting even while you're sleeping or working or doing whatever else you love to do.
Love it. Okay, so we've talked about the importance of starting early and starting with whatever you have, but Nwigby also stresses the crucial role of consistency.
Yes, consistency is absolutely key.
It's not about like hitting a home run with every single investment.
Right.
It's about showing up regularly and making those consistent contributions over time.
This is where a lot of people stumble. They might start out strong, make a few investments, and then life happens. Or the market takes a dip and they just stop completely.
I've been there.
But Onigby's message is really clear. Building that consistent habit of investing is far more important than trying to perfectly time the market or making these sporadic large investments.
Right.
So if you miss a contribution here and there, it's not the end of the world.
Okay.
The key is to just get back on track and maintain that long-term rhythm.
It's like learning a new language, right?
Yeah.
You might skip a day of practice here and there, but the real progress comes from that consistent effort over weeks and months and years.
Exactly. A great analogy.
And it's the same with investing. It's that sustained effort over time that makes all the difference.
Absolutely. And Onigby makes this point really well.
Yeah.
Regularly putting money into investments is far more beneficial for your future self than trying to guess market peaks and troughs.
Or waiting for that like perfect moment to invest.
Right, that perfect moment might never come.
Yeah, and in the meantime, you're missing out on potential growth.
That's the thing. Consistency really smooths out those ups and downs in the market
Mhm.
and allows that compounding to work its magic most effectively.
Okay, so now we've got to talk more about compounding.
It really is the secret sauce of long-term wealth building.
It is. And we touched on it earlier with the whole time factor thing, but Unwigby really dives into the math behind it.
And the bigger lessons it teaches us.
Yeah, it's not just about like earning a return on your initial investment.
It's so much more than that.
It's about earning returns on those returns.
And then returns on those new returns.
Yeah, it's like this snowball effect that just keeps getting bigger over time.
Exactly. And to illustrate this, Unwigby gives another really cool example. Imagine investing just 200 pounds per month for 10 years.
Okay.
That could potentially grow to over 250,000 pounds by the time you reach 70.
Wow, just 200 pounds a month.
That's all it takes consistently over time to see some truly impressive growth.
It's mind-blowing. And it really hammers home the point that it's time in the market, not timing the market.
That makes all the difference.
Right, and this brings us back to Aniwidbi's central point. Time is the most critical factor in this whole equation.
Absolutely. And he circles back to this idea over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get caught up trying to find the absolute best investment or predict exactly when to buy or sell.
Right.
The most effective approach is to just start early,
Okay.
stay consistent,
Mm-hmm.
and make adjustments as you go.
Got it.
The power of compounding will do the rest.
So basically, it's not about being some kind of financial genius. It's about taking action and being consistent.
That's the key takeaway.
And you know what I really appreciate about Anouigbi's advice? It's so practical.
Yeah, he cuts through the noise and gives you actionable steps you can take.
Exactly. He says, instead of getting fixated on some huge future sum that feels out of reach,
Which can be paralyzing for some people.
totally. He says, just focus on building the habit of making small, smart investment decisions today.
It's about focusing on what you can control.
Right. And not waiting for some perfect opportunity that might never come.
Start building that foundation now and let time and compounding work their magic.
All right. So for our listeners, let's distill this down to the essential insights. What are the key takeaways from Ifram Anougbi's gentle reminder about investing?
The main things to remember are these. Start investing now, no matter how much money you have.
Hmm.
Even small, consistent contributions can add up to significant growth over time thanks to compounding.
Right.
And focus on building that habit of regular investing.
Don't get caught up trying to time the market or find the perfect investment.
Exactly. Long-term consistency is where the real magic happens.
So as you think about what we've talked about today, I want to leave you with this thought. What small, consistent action can you take right now?
Today, not tomorrow.
Yeah, next week, today.
To start putting your money to work for your future.
And consider this.
Yeah.
How might this principle of compounding, that steady snowballing growth,
Apply to other areas of your life as well.
beyond just your finances?
It's a powerful idea that has applications far beyond the world of investing.
Think about it, give it a try, and let us know what you discover.